students. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, President Rhodey and Vice President Logan. It's an honor to get to say that for the final time to you, as you have served us so well in your board leadership positions. Superintendent Thompson and members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to come before you and share 3 fantastic good news items that really help us turn the page and officially be underway for the 2018-2019 school year. I know that is hard to say. As I saw some of my elementary principal friends over the weekend, they did not want me to ask them whether they were ready for Wednesday. So as you know, we have many elementary leaders and office staff that are back Wednesday. Enrollment starts a week from today, and we are officially off to the races for another great year. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our first good news item. It's always a good day when somebody comes and presents you with a big check. And tonight is one of those opportunities. I'm pleased to invite the folks forward who have been involved in the USD 259 Masters Golf Tournament. Jay Means, our Director of Athletics, and Darren Musey, our soon-to-be retired Division Director of Operations. We are sad that this might be our final evening to get to thank Mr. Musey for his service. So without further ado, you have the opportunity tonight to hear from these two about our recently completed golf tournament.
I asked Darren if he'd like to do this last time, but you can see he's just helping me out here. So, President Rhodey, members of the board, Superintendent Thompson, thank you for the opportunity to share this good news. On May 30th, 136 USD 259 employees, retirees, and tournament sponsors participated in the 12th annual USD 259 Masters Golf Tournament. We played at Auburn Hills. I would like to first recognize and thank all the sponsors who made this tournament possible. First is the title sponsor of the event, First Student. Additional financial sponsors included Schaefer Johnson Cox and Fry, architect, George K. Baum and Company, Credit Union of America, Verco, Highland Dairy, and Envision. Other in-kind sponsors included Life Touch Photography and Premier Foods. I don't know if anybody's here from any of them. We'd ask that you stand up. We just take their money, see. Due to the generous sponsors and those who participated, it is our privilege to make a donation of $7,500 to the Education Edge Fund. Thank you to the sponsors and participants who made this donation possible. One last word, I would also like to thank Darren Musey, Leroy Parks, and Lisa Edgar for helping for their hard work helping me out for this tournament happen and make it happen, and the opportunity to make this donation this evening. So, Dr. Thompson, we'd like to ask you to come out and we'll present a check.
What's that? Yeah, I'm taking that home with me.
Yeah. Somebody's spending it. Thank you very much.
I've had the wonderful opportunity of being able to know you and work with you for a long, long time. And we say this to lots of people, but I really mean it to you. We're going to miss you. Please enjoy, take care of yourself, get that back into shape. We'll be all set.
Dr. Thompson.
Well, since I was going to do that in my closing remarks, but since we've started, I'd like to also have the opportunity for Dr. Neil Guthrie to please have the opportunity to stand and be recognized as well, because I'm trying to get him to come to the July 30th board meeting, but I don't know if they'll make it. So would those two gentlemen please stand and let us give them a round of applause for all of their service.
All right. We're ready for the next one.
As we say farewell to two amazing partners I've worked with both Darren and Neil since I started my tenure with the district. It's also my honor to invite Susie Finn forward to share these final two good news items. Susie is new on our team. I'm not sure Susie's had the opportunity to come before you in her capacity as our manager of strategic partnerships and marketing. It would be safe to say that she is doing phenomenal work on our behalf representing the Wichita Public Schools in the community. And tonight you have the opportunity to hear from Susie about two items. One is the opportunity to recognize the Greater Wichita YMCA for their partnership on so many levels. And Susie has the opportunity to serve on one of their community advisory boards. And then secondly, we're going to talk to you about some different ways that you're going to see school supplies start showing up to benefit our kids. I figured it was a matter of time before you asked when the challenge was on. And you'll hear about all of the new things that are happening because there are some really exciting new initiatives that are underway to support both teachers and students with the donation of school supplies. So you'll have the opportunity to hear about that from Susie as well. And then should you decide to lay down a challenge or whatever else might pleasure the board, we're game for whatever you may come up with. So without further ado, please help me welcome Susie Finn.
Welcome.
Thank you. President Rohde, Vice President Logan, board members, Superintendent Thompson. I am very honored to be able to do the great work of serving our students through partnerships with our community and helping us to accomplish the work that we need to do in engaging families and community as part of one of our strategic plan themes. Tonight, we're going to hear from the Greater Wichita YMCA. They've been a partner with the district for decades, and we wanted you to have the opportunity to hear a little bit about three of their programs that have wrapped up for the last school year that they'll get ready to launch again for the next school year. To tell you more about that, I'd like to invite Program Director Becky Tuttle and Program Manager Tyrone Baker to the podium.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. On behalf of the Greater Wichita YMCA, we're really excited to tell you a little bit about some of our programs. Our mission at the YMCA is to build healthy spirit, mind, and body for all, and that takes us beyond just the beautiful facilities that you see within our city and our communities to reach individuals all across the city where we have a variety of community engagement and outreach programs. There are many programs that we partner with USD 259 and the Greater Wichita YMCA. Child Care and Camp, I think, are here as well. Our late night program at our north and south branches, but we were going to tell you just about three of our programs within community development. We know at the YMCA that safe and healthy communities don't happen by accident. Middle school serves as the most vulnerable time in a child's development and is when a number of unhealthy behaviors are experimented. Many of them have lifelong consequences. The middle school after-school program at the Greater Wichita YMCA not only boosts academic performance, but also reduces risky behaviors and promotes physical activity, all while providing a safe, free, structured environment for kids. During our past academic year, we were really excited to serve 4,801 middle school students in 15 of the USD 259 middle schools. When we did a survey at the end of the program, 81% of students reported a higher completion rate, which you wouldn't be surprised from students, but 80% of the teachers also confirmed that they had the students participating in the program completed their homework. Also, 74% of students reported being more physically active because they were in the program. So we feel that's a huge success and another one of our partnerships. And we actually had one of your Board of Education members come and take a tour of the middle school after-school program, and we'd invite any of you to come and do that as well as the community. We also know that finding a job can be challenging for youth. The Greater Wichita YMCA's Job Prep program is a free training program for students who are 15 to 17 years old and teaches basic financial literacy and responsibility, interviewing skills, dressing appropriately for the work environment, and all those soft skills that we want kids to know so that they can be prepared to be part of the next workforce. Though not a requirement to be of low income, many of our students engaged in the program are because of their desire to work and be employed, but also because of referrals from Wichita Public Schools, our community partners, and agencies. During this last year, we're excited that we had over 100 students apply for our job prep program. That's the most that we've ever had apply. We actually placed 100 of the students, and after the rigorous curriculum, making sure they maintained their academic performance and didn't have any disciplinary issues while in school, they also had to get certified in first aid and CPR. 74% of those students actually graduated, and 68 were placed in jobs. One quick story, a real success, is one of our students who has now been hired on at the employer that he was placed with us. He has been offered a full-time job with full-time benefits, including medical, dental, health, and vision, and he also is going to have tuition reimbursement while he's there. So he's going to continue his education. Finally, our SPLASH program. The SPLASH program provides an opportunity for second graders from low-income elementary schools to learn basic water saving and swim skills through a 6-week program at the Y. We go to the schools, we pick up the schools in our buses, and we bring them to the Y. They engage in the program, and then we take them safely back to school. Many of the participants have never experienced swimming, so the YMCA also conducts a yearly swimsuit drive in August to ensure that everyone can enjoy the program, including without incurring any costs. During the academic year, 2,229 students were bused on our buses to the branch and then back, and 1,920 of those students were from USD 259. I really want to thank Tyrone Baker. These are all his programs. I just get to tell you about the great programs and the great work being done, but we really want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to Wichita Public Schools for your partnership and allowing us to serve your students with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The third item on good news that we wanted to talk to you about today is school supply drives. We have community partners that have long partnered with us on providing school supplies, and you may be familiar with things like the school supply landslide. This year, we actually have many more partners who are working with us on large-scale efforts, and we wanted to highlight 3 of those for you tonight, as well as some of the work we've been doing around allowing community partners to adopt our schools and provide supplies directly to individual schools. So you have 2 documents with you there, and one of those highlights those 3 major efforts. The second one highlights businesses, faith organizations, and community partners who have already committed to adopting specific schools, and we are confident that we will continue to add to that list as we go through the month of July and August. So the 3 major efforts that we want to recognize our partners on, the first one is the school supply landslide. It looks a little bit different this year, and it's sponsored by Cake TV, the Sedgwick County Zoo, Dillon Stores, Arby's, Devon James, and Best Value Services, and will be supporting both the Salvation Army and Project Teacher. It kicked off with a donation drive at Sedgwick County Zoo on July 14th, and they're now accepting donations at the Cake TV location through August 3rd, and then they'll have a final collection date back at the zoo on August 4th. The second group is Tools for School, and that is sponsored by Ameritrust Credit Union, Spear Aerosystems, and KWCH, and it is supporting Salvation Army. The donations there are accepted at any Ameritrust branch in Wichita or Derby through July 31st. And then our final major effort that we are supporting through communications, all 3 of these efforts, is Chick-fil-A's Fill the Bus supply drive on August 10th. And it will be at both the east and the west locations. Donations are accepted just that day at the locations, and they go directly to classrooms in need in Wichita and surrounding districts. We'll have student leadership volunteers from our high schools there, along with Patty Stever and members of our communications team to help accept those donations and make sure they get to the classrooms that need them the most. We're also happy to help companies and organizations adopt schools to provide varying levels of support depending on what they have to give and what the schools need. And just wanted to highlight a couple of those who are going above and beyond, including Pathway Church, which donates to several schools. Fat Ernie's Restaurant came on board this year. They're providing 1 pair of shoes and 7 pairs of socks for every student at Griffinstein and Wells. The Pando Initiative is conducting a drive to provide supplies to the schools where they provide services. Realtors of South Central Kansas every year provides supplies to the McKinney-Vento program. And GT Midwest came on board to provide 650 backpacks and supplies to Woodman Elementary. Those are just a few of the organizations that are helping to support us. We've also gotten additional inquiries just from posting this information on our social media channels. So like I said, I'm confident we'll continue to see that list grow before we get to the beginning of the school year. So we invite you to join us and our sponsors at the zoo on August 4th or at either Chick-fil-A location on August 10th, or send notes of thanks to any of our participating sponsors and organizations. And I thank you for your time, and we'll answer any questions you may have about the supply drives.
Well, Wendy talked about a challenge, and I'm not sure that the staff wants to do that again, because they're, what, 0-27 or something like that? What's the staff's pleasure? We're willing to challenge you.
We're not, I was going to say, we're not scared.
That's the
We accept your challenge.
challenge on. Ben, just remember, we're going to win, so it's... Ben, go ahead.
So I wanted to mention, my employer, Spirit Aerosystems, is participating in the Tools for School portion of this. And so we've been promoted and got up. So if any of my coworkers are out there or watching, challenge is on. Because our coffee fund has already donated $100 towards it, so.
All right.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.